Junior Kumalo, thank you tonight. For more analysis on the developments in Mozambique, we're joined now by Mpumalanga Community Safety, Security and Liaison, MEC, Jackie Macie. MEC, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. Did you make your way at least to Komati Port, to the Lebombo border, to any parts of the port of entry, I suppose, points, to check what the situation has been on the ground?
Good evening to you, Tabo, and good evening to your viewers at home. Indeed, we have made some movement to check around. We've been in the Lebombo border post. Even now, we're around Komati Port, but making sure that our law enforcement agency, the police, are around, make sure that the situation on this side of South Africa is under control.
The Commissioner for Border Management Authority would have told us earlier in the week, for example, of a vehicle or vehicles that would have been set ablaze and infrastructure that would have been vandalized on the Mozambican side of the border. The question is whether or not that security situation could spill over onto the province's side of things, and do you have capacity to be able to deal with people who could possibly be causing disorder?
Definitely, we do have capacity as the state. As I've indicated earlier on, that we have deployed our law enforcement agency, the border management, the South African Defence Force. They are all over along the borderline, and also the post of entry there by Lebombo. So indeed, we are making sure that our citizens this side are safe. We are also urging our people both from the province and outside the province, even the visitors, that they want to use the route via the Lebombo border post or via South Africa to Mozambique. They must now wait a bit so that the situation is normalized on that side, then they will be able to move freely. But now the situation is a bit hostile, hence we are urging them to say, stay a bit, whether you have a plan that you must go on business or any vacation on Mozambique side. We are urging our people and our tourists as well to say, they must not try to go to that side of Mozambique, hence the border is temporarily closed.
Yeah. So those two interventions, one, the postponement of non-essential visits, two, the closing of the border. Do you think that is enough with respect to quelling a possible outbreak, a possible spillover?
It is enough because we have gathered the border as we are speaking now. Remember, the protest is on the other side of is on the side of Mozambique, yes, not in South Africa. Yeah. Ours, we are guarding against the spill-off that if anything might happen, we must make sure that we have capacity to deal with that situation at that time. But where we are sitting, I'm confident, I can assure the people of Mpumalanga and the country that, no, on the side of South Africa, where the situation is under control.
So are you saying as far as border security is concerned, at this particular point, there is no protocol that promotes some kind of crime prevention collaboration between the two states?
We are forever engaging with our counterpart on that side. Remember, we are now on the festive season. We do have those protocols so that we're able to make the movement of our people freely, also to combat any negative tendencies that might arise. Yeah. But for this case, we are waiting for national and also the Department of International Relations and DECO to give guidance. Yeah. But where we are now, I can confidently say, no, on the side of South Africa, we will manage the situation.
Right. I'm not familiar with the arrangement in terms of how structurally the whole border, for example, would be set up. But if the protesters can manage to get to that side and destroy property and intimidate officials to the point that they had to come this side in order for them to be protected. I ask myself a question, how do they even get to a point of the border? I mean, if they can be overpowered to that extent, what makes you believe that it's not going to happen to the South African side?
It is not going to happen because, as I've said, we have deployed our law enforcement agencies. All the multidisciplinary forces are here at the borderline. So at the point of entry, I don't think that is going to happen. Hence, we have managed the situation. Hence, there was some incident that happened that took place yesterday. We have managed, but we can't manage that what is happening on the side of the Mozambique. We can only manage what is happening or what we presume that we might happen on the side of South Africa. Therefore, on the side of South Africa, hence I'm confident that we will manage the situation.
Yeah. Tell us about that situation. We believe there was one protester that was arrested who tried to lock himself inside a car, and there was a response from the South African police?
Yes, there was. That incident took place, but everything was managed correctly. So, indeed, the suspect was arrested and processed accordingly in terms of our law that govern our country. Therefore, I cannot further give more details on that regard.
Yeah. The leader of the opposition, Venancio Mondlane, would have reported that there were attempts on his life as he was hiding here in South Africa. What investigations has been conducted around those particular claims?
No, I think that question I will leave to the National Department because they are the one that dealing with that one. In terms of what happened, the investigation, I'm not privy with that information as of now.
All right. Let's talk then about the other aspect of course, securing the borders from illegal crossings, one, but two, what the plan is around the delays. I mentioned there the Trucking Association just moments ago wanting some intervention because I suppose the economy gets affected when some of the resources are not moving and passing through the border. But let's start with illegal crossings at this particular point. Are you having a challenge of illegal crossings of people maybe wanting to flee the violence?
As of now, we haven't yet experienced such. Hence, we have managed because the visibility of our law enforcement agents makes this thing to make everything to be managed properly in terms of illegal crossing on the borderline. Hence, the alert and the visibility that we have of our law enforcement agents, we have intensified that visibility. So we are not experiencing such as of now. In terms of the Truck Business Association, they are queuing along the N4. Hence, we urge them, as they know that we communicated the information to say they must not try to cross over to the side of Mozambique because the situation, as you understand yourself, that is not normal. Up until such time when the situation is back to its normality.
And what is being done as far as their safety is concerned? One of the truckers would have been concerned around the safety of the area in which they are parked. I mean, they are on this side of the border, but the spot in which they are parking their trucks with some rather valuable resources on board, or minerals, if you like, they're saying it's not necessarily a safe spot to be.
They are forever queuing on the N4. It's not a new thing. So, and our police traffic officers and our the traffic officers and the police and even border management, they are forever visible in making sure that there are no shenanigans that are going to take place on the N4. Particular protecting everyone, not necessarily the truck drivers, everyone that is using the N4. We have 24 visibility of our law enforcement agency. Therefore, I can guarantee as of now that no, everything is under control and they are safe.
Yeah, well, I mean, they might usually do that, but this is an indefinite situation, and it's a situation that is not under normal circumstances. So is there any degree of beefing up of security for their own safety in that space?
We have briefed the security. We have briefed the security, hence we have indicated that the South African Defence Force, the border management, our our police, South African police, even traffic officers, they are on the N4. So we have intensified the visibility of the law enforcement agents along the N4, so that in any eventuality we'll be able to deal with that with the situation.
All right. Let me see any conversations that you're having with the Border Management Authority on when that border will be open. Is it at this particular point still up in the air?
No, it's still up in the air because we are still monitoring the situation, what is happening, and also getting the information. After that, then we will assess the information that we are getting based on what we are receiving. Then after that, maybe the decision will be taken. For now, the border is temporarily closed.
MEC, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on this evening. That is the MEC for Community Safety, Security and Liaison, J.K. Macie, on the situation on the border, port of entry there, Libombo port of entry with Mozambique. Right.